Floyd Mayweather, easy work, I got work about it. Given a response by Oscar De La Hoya in regards to Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. That's what we're gonna talk about in this video. And it may not be what you want. Stay tuned in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. SLC. Subscribe, like, and comment. You guys don't understand how far that goes when you guys do that. We have goals to reach. We got numbers and charts to climb. So please come in and subscribe, like, and comment. And this is how I grow organically on the channel. More on that later, but make sure you guys stick around to the end of this video. I'm gonna be breaking down what's going on. So I made a video about it already. Floyd Mayweather, he confirms that Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, King Ryan, can happen. But the only stipulation, if you will, that Floyd said is that the fight should take place at 135 pounds. Ryan is not the A side. Ryan does not get to choose the weight class in which they fight. He says, other than that, Oscar, do an interview with Fight Hype, and then we can get it cracking, and the fight can happen this year. This is what Floyd Mayweather said to Fight Hype, and I'll put the link in the description to the original video so you guys can listen to Floyd. Floyd also said that, you know, Ryan ain't beating Tank, and he'll get hit so hard that he won't wake up till next year, and a couple other things. So make sure you guys check out the interview. So Fight Hype, I guess, posted, you know, the content where Floyd did the exclusive, and Oscar De La Hoya on his verified page, he has responded. Here's what he had to say. Oscar De La Hoya, I do believe, on his verified page says, Mayweather was the smaller guy. I chose the gloves. I sold the most. I was older. I dedicated everything, or I dictated everything, and made the majority of the $150 million pot. So tell Gervonta Davis to do the same thing if he really believes in himself. What? Now, I'm just gonna be real with you. It's getting to the point where it's seeming like somebody may need to take over for Oscar De La Hoya at Golden Boy, because I really don't understand the vision at this point. Ryan Garcia had his fight week, Javier Fortuna, and I'm saying what y'all see, and no one else in the game is gonna say but me. But hey, that's the path that God put me on, so let's have at it. De La Hoya, I don't know what's wrong with him, but his eyes were like bulging out of his skull at the Ryan Garcia media day. That is not normal. I don't know if it's a medical condition. I don't know what he has going on, but that alone is, you know, pretty terrifying that he looked all, you know, googly-eyed at the media day for no apparent reason. Now Mayweather says we can make the fight and 140 is out the question. Absolutely not. And everything else he said about making a potential massive fight, Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, is very reasonable, in my opinion. Very, very reasonable. He didn't say anything crazy. He didn't say like, oh, we got to fight at a catch weight of 132, you know, something that Ryan Garcia probably wouldn't be able to make, or whatever the situation is. Ryan campaigned his entire career and has done very little in regards to that. I'm not saying he doesn't have popularity or Instagram following and stuff, but he's done very little, very, very little at 135, meaning he hasn't become a champion. He hasn't had big fights. He hasn't fought the Devin Haney's. He hasn't fought Tank. He hasn't fought Lomachenko, you know? And to see him now act like he can't make 135 anymore is really laughable. And this is, just so you know, this is what hurts boxing and represses boxing and potentially prevents it from being able to grow and expand to a deeper and wider audience, because games like this, Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, seemingly has very little or very few roadblocks, but then out of nowhere, a roadblock is created to stifle the fight and pretend that there's all these issues and prevent the fight from happening. So De La Hoya's response to me shows me that I'm not going to hold my breath for the fight, and Ryan Garcia's team doesn't look like they want the fight, because they're creating an issue. Like, just imagine if you had a girlfriend, right? and you guys get in an argument, and you're doing everything within your power to solve the problem and, you know, end the argument and be peaceful about it. And then no matter what you say, your girlfriend is just finding something else to be mad at. You know, it gets to a point where some people is you want to be mad, you want to stay mad, and that's just what it is. If two people are amicably trying to work together and figure out a solution to a problem, they can definitely do it. But if one person is doing it and another person is creating additional issues, then it's going to be a lot harder to do. You really need both parties involved and both parties trying to work on a solution to the problem. And that's not what it appears to be right here with Ryan Garcia and his team in the Tank Davis fight. Up until the Javier Fortuna fight, which was Ryan Garcia's last fight, there was no other talk. There was no other conversations being had about the fight taking place anywhere else outside of 135. But because of this Fortuna fight, all of a sudden, Ryan Garcia and team started suggesting that the Tank fight happened at 140, that the fight needs to take place and Tank needs to move up to 140 to fight Ryan. And it just makes no sense because, as I've said in previous videos, Canelo Alvarez, for example, he's the A side over anyone not named Floyd Mayweather for the most part, right? So how is it understood that Caleb Plant, Jamal Charlo, David Benavidez, they got to know their role like The Rock say, and they got to play their role as the B side, and it's well understood from all parties, from boxing fans, promoters, etc., in boxing that Canelo's the A side. But when you clearly have Gervonta Tank Davis, a black fighter from Baltimore, who's the A side, people want to play these games and act like the B side is in the leveraged position to dictate terms. It's just, that's never been a part of boxing. You've always seen it. And Floyd Mayweather, everything he said in his initial interview with Fight Hype was true. He said Oscar got to pick the gloves, Oscar got to pick the venue, you know, I had to move up to 54. It's about sacrifices. But I knew I was the better fighter. I knew I could beat him. Boom, we had a fight. And he says Ryan Garcia, him being in the position that I was in as the B side, he got to understand. What De La Hoya said was very foolish because his reply is basically parroting or echoing what is an echo chamber to what Floyd already said. He said Mayweather was a smaller guy. I chose the gloves. I sold the most. When I was older, I dictated everything. Floyd already told us that. So that's what I'm saying. It looks like De La Hoya needs some real life help because it's like, what are you even talking about? Floyd, in his whole interview, which De La Hoya responded to the interview and it was playing the audio, Floyd already said as much. Floyd already said that, and it's common knowledge that De La Hoya was the golden boy, and it's common knowledge that De La Hoya dictated terms. Floyd said that, and then the whole first part of your response is reiterating what Floyd had already said in the initial Fight Hype interview. I mean, it looks foolish and it makes no sense. And then out of nowhere, he says, so tell Gervonta to do the same if he really believes himself. Literally, these are like schoolyard elementary games where somebody says something and you can't think of anything fresh or new to say. So you just repeat what they said and just, you know, someone said, you're a dumb idiot. And you're like, no, you're a dumb idiot. That's what this sounds like. Mayweather said Oscar dictated, The reason he said that was because it made a point for his fighter, Tank Davis. He's saying, hey, I had to make sacrifices. Ryan Garcia need to go ahead and make that sacrifice. You hear Oscar De La Hoya and he's just parroting and really responding with exactly what Floyd, it's like a little kid game, you know, like as I just mentioned. De La Hoya is saying exactly what Floyd already said, but then he's just switching out Ryan Garcia's name for Gervonta Davis. Oh, hey, Gervonta needs to make sacrifices. What are we doing? And to me, I'm not holding my breath that this fight happens. Hopefully it does, but with this type of behavior, I'm skeptical. Subscribe to the channel SLC. I'm the best in the business, but y'all knew that. And I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a Super Thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.